Hey there, guys. This is my second attempt at a video to help you with your discussion boards. I'm a little bit persnickety when it comes to what I want and how I'm going to grade you. And there's one piece in particular that really trips people up, and it's due to some settings in your discussion boards. The basics of the discussion board every week is that I want you to have read the material Sunday or Monday maybe, put out there on the discussion board an initial post no later than Tuesday night, and then every couple of days go in there and read what everybody has written, pick a few to post some sort of a follow-up comment on, and by the end of the week you've posted on 3 or 4 days, you've posted on 3 or 4 people, you've read all the posts that are out there, and you've learned a little bit and shared your knowledge. That's the overview. But let me share my screen here and go into the settings and show you some things that I want you to make sure that you get set correctly to make it easier for you. And then I will go over the discussion rubric to make sure that you know where to get your points and you can set up your calendar. My intention for the semester is to have everything happen in the same way, the same week. So once you get the first week or two down, it's just so remote and so routine that it's easy to do. So let's hope this works. I'm making sure it looks like I've got my audio working because I've learned my lesson on that one. Share application here. We want to go to, let's do that. Boom. There you are. That looks really strange there, doesn't it? Let's go here. I'm actually recording this video using my Human Resource Management class structure, but the grading scheme and the process is the same for organizational leadership. So I'm going to use this, but if you're in the organizational leadership class, just ignore the fact that it says Human Resource Management. And when I show you the rubric, ignore the fact that it says Human Resource HRM at the top, because it's the same for you. And I don't have to record the thing twice that way. So let's see here. When you go, first of all, when you log into class, you get or you all get to Georgia View, you get something like this. You can see as I record this at Sunday night at 9 p.m., both of my master's classes here. I've got some discussion boards waiting on me and some quizzes waiting on me that some of you were able to get in and find before I set the parameters on the date availability. But from this main home screen here, what I need you to do is click on your name and then click on account settings. And the first thing that comes up when your screen changes is the account settings here with general and font and dialogue. Come down here to reading content as you scroll down here, and you can see that it says some tools automatically mark content as read as you scroll it into view. If you use an assistive technology as a screen reader, you may need to disable this feature. So assuming that you don't have any issues where you've got to have your screen do certain things, you want to make sure that this box does not, I repeat, does not have a checkbox. It says do not automatically mark items as read as the page scrolls. If you put a check mark, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to meet the objectives that I have in terms of reading each other's posts. And the way that this works is that when you log into class and you see that there's 7 discussion posts out there that you haven't read, and you click on the discussion, you open up one of the discussion threads, and there is a blue line that runs up and down the left-hand side of the screen, and that means to Georgia View that you have not read that post. As you read it and you scroll down, when you get to the bottom of the post, and you pause there for a couple of seconds, then that blue line goes away, and that the absence of the blue line means that you have read the post. So blue line you have not, no blue line you have. And if this box is checked, it doesn't get rid of that blue line even if you sit there for an hour. So get rid of that checkbox to make it to where Georgia View will recognize you've read it. Now remember, you got to get to the bottom of the post, and usually at the bottom of the post there's a horizontal line across the page, and it's got to actually see that horizontal line before it marks it as checked. So first thing you do is to check that box right there. Then you come up here to discussions. What I want you to do in this particular setting is look down here to reply settings and include original post and reply. And I want you to check it to where there is no check mark. So if there is one, you click on it to get rid of it. If there's not one, you leave it like it is. Why do I ask you to do that? Because I'm asking you to go in after you've read the articles and thought about it and come up with what you think is the appropriate answer to the discussion question for you, to put like a 200-word discussion. And that's going to be a decent sized paragraph on the screen. Now, when you go in there and you read George's post and you want to reply to that, you type your 100 words in or whatever, and you hit post or submit. If this box is checked, include original post, I am going to go in there and I'm going to see George's original post. And as I scroll down, I'm going to see your post and then George's post again. And getting rid of that check mark eliminates George's post from ever showing up again other than at the very top. Without that box clean, with the check marks in there, you do have to do a lot more scrolling. And to get the computer to recognize that you've read the post, you got to scroll down not only through yours, but through his as well. So those two settings should make it a whole lot easier to handle the discussion posts. All right, and then you want to save and close once you've made those changes. I didn't make any changes, so there's nothing to save. Now, when I go in, let's see, since I'm talking about human resource management, I go in here and I click on the unread discussion posts. Just come down here. You can see there's a blue line there. That means that there is stuff I have not read. There's 4 of them that I haven't read. So I click on introductory discussion. Look, here's all these things I haven't read yet, and this will be a real good example here because Yuli has got a post and Jared has got to reply to that post. So I'm gonna click on that. Immediately the blue line is gone because it can see the entire post. But I would read this. You notice there's a blue line down here next to Jared. Normally, if I had gotten this far, this blue line would have gone away. But because Jared has included the original post in reply, I've got to scroll way down here. Now I count 1, 2, 3. Now that blue line is gone, and this will register to Georgia View as though I have read 2 posts. If you'll make those changes, it'll help an awful lot because part of the grading rubric is that you've read the posts that are in the discussion, and you lose points for not reading posts. So with those settings in mind, let me go and pull up the rubric here, and let's make it bigger here. The discussion rubric, again, for organizational leadership and MBA, there's 5 things that I'm looking for, and you can get 4 points for each, so it's a total of 20 points. If you've made your original post by Tuesday night, I'm going to give you Sunday and Monday and Tuesday to read the articles that are out there in SHRM, or to read the chapters that are in the textbook if you're in the Org Leadership class. And by Tuesday night, you should have done the bulk of that reading. If you make your first post by midnight Tuesday night, you get all 4 points. But if you wait longer, the longer you wait, the more points you lose. Notice it goes from 4 to 3 and it drops to 1. If you post on Friday for the very first time, you've lost 2 of the points for the 20 for the week already. The second thing I'm looking at is the number of posts that you make during the week. And for both classes, I want you to make 3 or more. Now, one of them is your original, so you only really have to follow up on 2 other people, but you may want to post on 4 or 5 people, 10 people, whatever. Remember that the more you post, the more the rest of us have to read. But if you have interesting information to add to the discussion, by all means, post it. If you make 3 or more good posts, you get all 4 points. Only making yours plus 1 loses 1 point. If you only make your point and never respond to anybody else, you've lost a couple of points. Not only do I want you to make posts on several different people, I want you to post on different days. There is no value in discussion boards. If you go in on Thursday, you make your original post, you make your both follow-up posts all within a span of 15 minutes. I want you to log in regularly, read regularly, post sporadically. So if you post 3 or more times, you get points. If you post those 3 or 4 whatever posts on 3 or more different days, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is perfect, you get 4 points. Posting 3 times but only on 2 days, you post once on Monday and twice on Wednesday, you've only posted on 2 days, so you've lost a point. Make all your posts on 1 day, you've lost even more points. And then I don't want you to put your post out there, go read where George has replied, and then you reply to George's reply on your post. That's not somebody different. You need to post on their main thread. So you post on 2 other people's main posts, you got full points. You drop to 1 person or no persons, whatever. And then the last thing is that you've got to read this stuff. And even if you've read it, if those blue lines don't go away that I just talked about, it's not going to recognize that you read it. And I can't argue with the computer. You can come in and say, I read every one of these things, but if you don't get that blue line to go away, neither one of us has proof that you did. I've theoretically got proof that you didn't. So make sure that you make those settings. Read 90 or more percent of the posts, read 80% or 70%. But let me throw you out this for you. The discussion board opens at 1 in the morning on Sunday, and it doesn't close until 11:59 the next Sunday night. So it's open for 8 solid days. But the reason I open it on the second Sunday is because people need a day to read what's out there. So let me tell you, in this video right up front, all things laid out on the table equally, nothing that you post on the second Sunday counts for anything. If you do a follow-up, if you've got 2 posts Monday and Thursday, and you post your 3rd time on Sunday, it's like it never existed. It will not count for any of these things if you post on Sunday. Sunday is for reading, not for writing. So make sure that all of your writing is done by Saturday. And then you can spend Sunday leisurely reading. I had a lot of complaints several semesters ago when I closed the discussion board on Saturday night, and people would go in there at 11 p.m. and read everything that's out there and finish it up for the week. And then, by golly, there'd be 3 people that would go in there at 11:45 and post, between them 10 posts, and all of a sudden their 100% read dropped to 94% read. And depending on the grade, if it's 95 or higher, they lost points because somebody got in there at the last minute and did a flurry of posts. Even if they do that and get a flurry of posts at the last minute on Saturday night, if it's not posted by 11:59 Saturday night, you're not responsible for reading it. So I will factor that into the grading and make sure that you've read it all. So that's the short version there of everything that I'm hoping for from you. Let's see if now, hopefully, you saw all that. You've got audio. You might not have some video from time to time. I think that you're gonna find, if you've never had me before, in fact, most of you haven't because I don't recognize most of the names. I think you're going to find that I'm one of your favorite teachers. I'm one of your funniest teachers because I'm one of the goofiest teachers that you got. I'm 56, almost 57 years old, and when it comes to life, you go to your grandma and she's like, I just don't care anymore. I'm old and I'm crotchety and I just don't care. I'm kind of that way too. I laugh at myself a lot, and I've given myself stuff to laugh about already. I'm rambling now, so we'll close this video out. Thanks for listening to it. I hope you got a better understanding of what you got to do in the discussion posts to get all of the points every week. They add up real quick, but they're easy if you know how to do it. First week, if you don't get everything right, knock yourself in the head kind of like I did earlier today and say, you know what, I think I know what I missed. I'm going to get it right next time. And then you get into a routine and you get 20 points every week. No problem. That's the way it ought to work. See you later.